Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Salwa.
As you know, the admissions process for the upcoming 2024-2025 school year is approaching, and parents everywhere are really interested in finding out more about it. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started with the first question. If a parent is interested, where should they begin?
Potential parents seeking admissions into QCA for the upcoming school year 2024-2025, should they want to find out about the process, the first step will be to go visit our website, www.myqca.org, and they will find details for each of the steps in the admissions process there, inshallah.
Speaking of the steps, can you go over what those steps are?
So any potential parent or guardian that is interested in seeking admissions for their student for the upcoming school year, given that they have already toured the facility and they have gained a comprehensive insight into the QCA program, the next step will be to wait for the official opening of the admissions. For this year, it's going to be January 1st, 12 a.m. Once the admissions open, the link for the admissions will go live on our website, 12 a.m. on the 1st, and the link will also be available on our social media pages. So once that link goes active, the first step will be to fill out the application form with just basic information. The second step will be to, once the Office of Admissions receives that basic information, they are going to email the parent or the guardian and schedule testing. The 2 dates for testing this year is going to be January 20th and January 27th. Following the testing, there is going to be a mandatory parent meeting with a member of the administration where the test results are going to be discussed. The academic records and transcripts from previous school, they're going to be discussed and evaluated. And also, the administration is going to understand what the parent expectations of QCA are. Why is it that they're choosing QCA for their student? And if QCA is the right fit for their student. The fourth step will be the student interview, which is mandatory, and it will be a closed book interview, meaning the student will be interviewed by 2 members of the admission committee who will not have prior access to the testing results. It is primarily to see what the student interests are, what their talents are, and most importantly, in middle school and high school, it is to see if the student really wants to come to QCA. So these are the 4 steps. First one is application, second, testing, third, mandatory meeting with the parent, and fourth is the informal student interview with 2 members of the admissions committee.
After going through all these steps for admissions, are students automatically guaranteed a spot at QCA?
That's a very good question. So no one is guaranteed a spot at QCA. What the admissions committee does is, after the data is collected from all these 4 steps, it is holistically evaluated and a ranked list is generated based on a comprehensive assessment of all these data from the 4 steps. Based on the number of seats available, students are offered seats for admissions. Now, if we have more students qualifying than the number of seats that we are able to offer, then those qualifying students, they are in the order of ranking, they're placed in a wait pool, and they remain in consideration until the first 2 weeks of the school year. Unfortunately, if a seat does not open up and they still want to apply for the next school year, we do not maintain a wait list that continues from 1 year to the next. They will have to reapply, meaning the whole process will have to be repeated. It will be a new application.
After going through the whole admissions process, how long would it take for parents to hear back from the admissions committee about the decision?
Inshallah, our goal is that by 1st of March, on or before 1st of March, all admissions decisions should be emailed to the parent or the legal guardian.
Going back to the testing portion of the admissions process, is there any specific curriculum the students are tested on?
The curriculum is TEKS aligned, standard state of Texas curriculum. And the content that the students are going to be tested on will be from the previous grade and also the first 2 quarters of the fall semester. For K through 3, what we test them on is math, English, and then basic motor and cognitive skills. For 4th and up, as they go higher up in the grade, the test is going to be intense. The primary aim of these tests, the tests for 4th and up, is going to be in math, English, science, and Arabic. The primary aim with these tests is to see if there are any learning gaps. And should there be a learning gap, does QCA have the resources to close those gaps? As we go into high school, the testing for high schoolers will have, there will be an additional college readiness test as well, because at QCA, it being a collegiate, we require our students not only to graduate with a distinguished high school diploma, but also an associate's degree from Richland Community College.
Speaking of Arabic, what if a student doesn't have a foundation in Arabic?
That's a very good question. Many times, or oftentimes, parents, they freak out saying that my student has never been to an Islamic school, they don't have the foundation. So for elementary years, like 4th and 5th, the testing basically is to test them on their foundational skills, writing skills. And that actually becomes our data to know where the student is at, and that becomes our starting point to build the student up. Coming into 6th and 7th, again, if they don't have those foundational skills, we can still work with them and build them up. However, 8th grade and up, because of the intense rigor of the program itself, the Quranic Arabic, we require that they have some foundational skills. If they don't have those foundational skills, then the parent and the student, they have to commit to building themselves up prior to the start of the school year and be ready in order to assimilate with the rest of the class and pick up from wherever the class is at that time.
Is there any test prep that's required for the admissions exam before students come in?
We discourage any test prep. Like I said, this test is primarily to determine if there are any learning gaps and if QCA has the resources to support the student best. What we require or what we recommend, highly recommend, is that they have a good night's sleep and a good breakfast and come to test happy.
Obviously, parents from around the country are really interested in QCA. What if a parent is unable to come to Texas to have their child take the exam? Are there any alternate test dates, or can they do a remote test instead?
That's a very good question. And yes, we have parents flying in for testing actually on the 20th and 27th, the 2 test dates that we currently offer for this upcoming cycle. Now, if a parent is not able to make it to these 2 cycles, testing cycles, unfortunately, we do not offer any remote testing for various reasons. They will have to fly in. The test has to be in person. They can request a date in February. However, it will depend on if seats are available at that time.
Are siblings of students or alumni and children of staff and board members given guaranteed admission?
The admissions committee looks at a variety of factors before it offers a seat to any student. No one is guaranteed a seat. Everybody has to go through the process. Now, once everyone has gone through the process, and if all factors are equal, and should there be a tie, then students of current siblings or alumni or children of staff, faculty, and board members will receive preference in the admissions process.
Jazakallah khair. I hope this answered any questions you may have. If you have any more questions, please feel free to email us at admissions@myqca.org or head over to our website, www.myqca.org.